here excited this week to talk about Rocklin, which we live. So some of you may have we talk about living in Rocklin quite a bit, and there's a lot of people that we help move to the area, not just Rocklin, greater Sacramento area. So we kind of had this idea recently of saying, hey, we know a lot about this area. I've pretty much lived in the greater Sacramento area my whole life. She's from Woodland. Fun fact, kind of fun story. When I first met her, she gave me her number and she gave me the wrong number.
No, I didn't.
And
you just didn't realize it was 530 and not 916.
It's kind of, that's kind of funny. So I called her. I have to tell the story now real quick before we get into this. I called her and it was the wrong number. And so I sent her a message on MySpace at the time. It was
a couple paragraphs long.
And said, if you didn't want me to call you, why'd you give me the wrong number? And she said, I didn't. It's 530. Now you know. But let's talk about Rocklin. So just so you know, it's not just about Rocklin, and we can help anyone in the greater Sacramento area, but we're creating guides in each city. So we have Rocklin, we have Roseville. We're almost done putting the finishing touches on Sacramento itself, which is going to cover Sacramento, East Sac, West Sac, Natomas, the whole Sacramento area. So we're going to have something for everyone, because when people start their search on looking for a home, if they live out of the area, they start researching online. So we got you covered. We are going to cover everything in this that you need to know before moving to Rocklin, California. So we're excited to get into it. So we're talking about pros and cons, cost of living, best neighborhoods, which neighborhoods might not be the right fit for you, safety, schools, all that good stuff. So excited to jump into it, all the things. And so we're just going to kind of jump right into it. I'm not going to cover everything, but if you guys would like a copy of the guide, just send me an email. You should have my email in this video. Send me an email, Rocklin Guide, and that you want the Rocklin Guide, and we'll send it out to you. Or just go ahead and comment here, Rocklin Guide, and we will get it over to you. You can share it with people you care about. Maybe you live outside. Maybe you live like Folsom, El Dorado Hills, Sacramento, and you want to move to Rocklin. You want to get a little more familiar with it. Whatever it is, we are here to help. So let's jump into it. We do have some of these other videos on YouTube, but we're going to start off with the pros and cons of living in Rocklin. You want to get us started?
Sure. Pro number 1, it's family friendly, folks. It's been voted in the top 50 cities to live in the United States, and it ranked number 7 by the California Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
To live in California, top 7 cities.
Top 7 cities.
All of California, mind you. All of California.
All of California.
So it's a pretty awesome city.
How long have we lived in Rocklin?
6,
7? Yeah. Probably about 7 years. Yeah. 7-ish.
Yeah, we came from Roseville, so far away.
Yep. So we love living here. Number 2, top rated schools. So a lot of schools are 9s and 10s. You got some 8s in there, but overall the school district in Rocklin is really, really good. Stellar. It is good. So I'm going to talk more about that a little bit later. Let's go to number 3.
Oh, there's a variety of parks and trails, folks. So if you do like outdoor living, Rocklin has a little bit of that for you. No, but really there's a lot of greenbelt areas in Rocklin. There's a lot of different trails that I'm still finding out there's different trails to walk on. So it's really cool, because if you're taking walks or you're going for jogs, or you just want to take the kids on a safer place to ride their bikes, there's a lot of different walking trails in tons of parks.
Johnson
There's
Springview
actually quite a few parks.
The best park, like dog park, hockey rink, disc golf course, tennis courts, volleyball, like everything you could think of.
Skate park too.
Yeah, skate park. It's crazy. So splash pad. That's our favorite park in Rocklin. All right, number 4, safety. So Rocklin is one of the safest areas in Northern California, considered safer than 35% compared to the United States, based on niche.com. So overall, we feel that it's safe. Like, you can look at stats in any city and probably find things, but we've had nothing but a safe experience. I don't know, like we don't. There's not a lot that we deal with.
Fences and waves.
Yeah, exactly. So consider very safe. Number 5.
Jobs. So there's tons of different jobs surrounding this area. There's a lot of different big corporations like Amazon, What's another one? Sierra
Uh,
College is another one. William
yeah.
Jessup. There's
Kaiser Medical.
Kaiser. There's a
for-
lot
yeah.
of medical facilities as well. Sutter, Kaiser, UC Davis. There's a lot of different medical opportunities around the area. So jobs in the area are looking great, Bob.
And also it's close enough. Like our area, Rocklin, is close enough to maybe commute. Some people commute 1 or 2 days a week to the Bay Area as well. So that's kind of one thing that
that's
people
true.
enjoy. Number 6 is weather. I love the weather here. I get cold really easily, so I'm like no snow,
Yes,
right?
it is.
But I don't care about 100-degree weather. I'm fine with that. I like the heat. So we don't usually get below 39 a lot, and we don't usually get over 105. Maybe a few days of the year we may be hotter, but we don't have a crazy amount of rain either. I would say this year would probably be the exception, where we've had a lot more rain than normal. But either way, the weather is solid. It's dry, so it's not super humid, and
it's dry heat.
this summertime you're getting 4 months of solid weather, and spring can
By
be in the
solid, he
50s
means
and
hot.
60. Yeah.
So just word to the Bay Area people, because I know we've talked to several people in the Bay Area that have moved this way. It is a little bit of a shocker because you're used to the beautiful, consistent 70s, 60s. Ooh, it's hot. It's 80.
Yeah.
You come over this way and you're in the hundreds in the summertime. So it is a bit of a shock, but it's dry heat. So it's not super humid like you might find in other parts of the country. So yeah, be prepared. We use our ACs quite a bit.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Good. And we'll get into some cons of talking about ACs here in a little bit. All right. A few more pros. Proximity to outdoor experiences and day trips. So we have 200 acres of walking trails, right? We have a lot of things close. Quarry Park is a nice kind of destination place in Rocklin where they took the quarry and they made it kind of a zip line course and all kinds of good stuff.
Climbing, and you should check it out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun with kids. If you have kids, you got to go check it out. But we're also a couple hours from the Bay Area, an hour and a half from Reno, an hour and a half from Tahoe. And there's tons of hiking up in the Auburn area. Up there just north, just like 20-30 minutes, guys. So that's the cool thing, is where we're located, there's a lot of things to do with or without children.
Yeah. The number 8 is golf, and I don't golf, so why don't you go?
Yeah, I mean, there's 34 courses within 20 minutes and all different kinds. Rocklin has Whitney Oaks golf course, but there's a golf course for everyone close by, and
even Top Golf.
Yep, and Top Golf. I'm actually like a really good golfer. I shoot about 100 on a good day.
I don't know what that
is.
means.
That good? No, it's not good.
No,
I'm not good.
Well, I swing and miss, so
yeah,
I'm actually fairly athletic, if I must say so myself. But when it comes to golf,
well, except for the time we tried to play tennis, where she just tries to hit the ball as hard as she can.
Okay, well, I'm talking about
she misses the ball and she swings around and comes back.
No,
around.
that's golf.
No, that's tennis.
It's because tennis, I just want to play baseball.
See, what had happened was
you go for the fences.
Yeah, she would swing as hard as she could. The tennis ball will go flying, and then we ran out of tennis. I coached tennis in college. I coached tennis to 5-year-old kids, right? And they could get it, and I couldn't teach. How old were you at the time? 26,
maybe.
And change?
In my 20s.
In your 20s?
In my young, strapping 20s.
Yeah, I know.
Strapping is.
Yes. So what does strapping even mean?
Nobody
knows. All right, let's go number 9. Cover some food diversity for me. Like
food diversity. Well, what's really cool here is that there's a lot of food diversity. No.
What's really cool about that is food diversity.
So what I mean by that is that there's diverse foods. No.
Hey, full disclosure, we both didn't sleep last night, so
it's fine, guys.
But we're going live. We're hitting you with value. All of this is in the guide. We'd love to send it to you. We're just here to have fun.
We're having fun, man.
Yeah.
So anything you're craving, Italian, Vietnamese, Chinese, Thai food, sushi. I love Asian food, as you can tell. Mexican.
As you can tell.
Because I just listed like 5 of them in a row.
You said, as I can tell, like, look at my face. Like, you're not Asian.
No, I'm not.
Okay. as you can
that's
tell.
a mystery for
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah.
So there's
All right. We'd like to hear in the
food.
comments, what nationality do you think she is?
Yeah.
Oh, what percentages and everything?
Percent.
You know, like 23%
1%.
Caucasian. And then there's always the person that's like 8% African American. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
You never know what's gonna
it
pop up in
happens.
those
All right,
DNA
moving on.
scans.
Sorry
That's
about
a whole
that.
different story.
There are so many spots. We actually at the in this guide we have our top 10 restaurants
Yes.
for you to check out.
Best.
So
Best
and
of Rocklin.
we've all tested them out many a time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so then we're going to go 10 home appreciation. This is rounding out our list of pros. We're going to go into cons here in a sec. Home appreciation. So Rocklin is kind of in a top destination for families to move. We've got about 70,000 people. You have William Jessup College. You have Sierra College, and so the growing community we have many homes. We have two sides of Rocklin, right? We have like kind of East Rocklin and West Rocklin. West Rocklin being the newer side. It's really held its value. We have a lot of new homes, like Whitney Ranch is a master plan community that we'll get more in, but Rocklin has been known to hold its value and grow in appreciation, which is always a good thing. Let's go into the cons. Start us off. There has to be.
Yeah, there's definitely cons.
No matter what, there has to be.
All right, higher prices. So because of that desirability, is that a word? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Because of that desirability, people want to move to Rocklin. Supply and demand, people.
Yeah.
So therefore, the prices are higher.
Yeah.
For home prices.
Yeah. Not only that, you have everything from transportation to groceries and things like that are a little higher than what you would normally find, but the actual house prices are higher. I would say, I think 11% higher than Sacramento area, like Sacramento itself. So that's one thing to consider. Also, you have higher taxes in Melrose. So taxes in the state of California are 1%. Melrose is an extra bond that's assessed. And basically the short story is the new home company needs to put structure, infrastructure, streetlights, parks, fire departments, all that stuff.
And as we mentioned, we have a lot of parks.
Yeah, a lot of parks. So you're going to expect to pay about 1.25% in taxes instead of the traditional 1%. So it's a little bit more. Kind of a pro tip for you, if you are looking at houses in the area, there are some that have gated communities. That's a telltale sign that there's HOA, homeowner association. That could be an extra cost. So make sure the homes that you're looking at, make sure to find out they have HOA, because that will be an extra cost for you. All right, let's jump to number 3.
Utility prices. So Rocklin is with PG&E for all electricity, and it can be very expensive.
Costly.
So if you're not doing that, if you are just on PG&E, you will soon discover why so many people in Rocklin have moved over to solar. Now, solar is its own expense because you're either leasing it or purchasing it, which is a pretty big expense. However, it ends up being worth it because the electricity costs so much through PG&E. So that definitely is a con, I'd say, because you can go to just a neighboring city of Roseville and
they have their own utility
less
company.
Expensive
So yeah,
bill.
it's much cheaper. And now with new homes, for the past 3 years, you have to actually have solar either purchased or leased. So if you're buying a new home, you also have to have solar. But solar is one of those things where, depending on the type of solar, the panels and everything, the quality can be, some qualities better than others. If you are buying the area, we have an amazing connection. One of our clients actually owns a solar company, so he will give you the BLT discount. If you're just joining us for the first time, BLT is Brandon Leon team. We started it years ago as a joke. It's like, oh, BLTs, they're delicious. And that's the name of our team. So we have fun with it. So a lot of people, yeah, we are delicious. A lot of people call, I call them on the phone. They're like, BLT, what's up? And that's just kind of been a fun thing. Anyways, let's go on to the more of the cons. Distance to Sacramento. So if you're somebody that likes to be close to, I would say nightlife, or you work downtown or something like that, you could have a 35, 45, 50-minute commute in the morning. So it's not like, oh, it's 10 minutes. But it's also not Bay Area traffic either. So you can't have some traffic. We have pretty much three major freeways, Highway 65, Highway 80, and Highway 50, that are kind of running through, Rocklin, Roseville, Placer County, and Sacramento. And tell me about traffic,
Well,
Gladys.
since you just talked about that, I was thinking we would just go right into it, Bob, with traffic being another con.
Once she gets in that voice, she can't stop. It's can't
stop,
like,
won't stop.
So you will have some traffic in the morning and in the afternoon, and 65 and 80 meet right at the edge of kind of Roseville and Rocklin. So you will have
Now,
some
we're
traffic
Northern
there.
California, so we don't say the 65 or the 80.
Yeah,
we just say
do that.
65 and 80. So.
Right. So
just
same
in
difference.
case you're watching this from Southern California, I have all my family down
Even
there.
the Bay Area, huh? Even the Bay Area, they say the. No, nobody knows. We're phoning a friend right now in case you're wondering.
We take.
All right, so traffic. All right, let's move on. Cons. Number 6, trains. So there is a train that runs. Wow.
Sound effects.
Can you cut that out? So there is a train that runs along Pacific. So there are some neighborhoods that will have some train noise. Pretty common. You also have that in Sacramento, but for some people, they can hear a train from 2 miles away.
Fun fact, we used to live by a train track, like backed up to it. And it random times of the early morning hours, they would just sound their horns, and it was like this blaring alarm clock at like 2 a.m.
And I slept through it. I don't
understand, but I could not. And I was like,
I'm curious too.
Why?
Like, if you're a couple watching this, which one are you? Are you like the light sleeper that wakes up for everything? Or are you the one that can sleep through anything? Comment below. I want to hear about
everything.
it. And while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, because
to our channel. Yeah, we're always trying to bring you more value. We're going to move on here from the pros and cons list. We do have the cost of living in our guide as well that talks a little bit more about house prices and how much it costs to live here. I've done a separate video on that, so you can find that on YouTube. Let's get into the 5 biggest safety concerns. Whenever anyone's looking at moving anywhere, it's like, okay, well, what should I be aware of? And I think these can go for most any area, but I think these are kind of the most important that we've seen or we've dealt with. Do you want to start us off?
Cracks and structural integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
tell me more about cracks.
Cracks.
Don't step on them, they'll get back.
There you go.
Yep.
So
you said.
Most of the houses here will be on a concrete slab. You will have some that have raised foundations, but Rocklin. Why are we called Rocklin?
Because it's all rock, baby.
We should have added that as a con.
That is a con, actually, because I'll tell you right now, we were just talking about it before this. You go to plant a baby plant, a little 5-gallon bucket, maybe. You will unearth probably like 10 boulders.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is Rocklin, which is good because you have good drainage. What?
Sorry. Boulders like my shoulders? No.
Okay.
Bad joke?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. A lot of boulders. A lot
of rocks. What is it called? A digging spear? I don't know if you know what that is, but it's this really long, 10-pound rod is required if you live in Rocklin, because that is amazing when you're trying to unearth these huge massive. I'm talking boulders.
So if you're putting in a pool, it's going to cost you more because the ground is hard. Moving on, cracks and structural integrity. So what we're talking about is if you're buying a house that has a raised foundation, you're going to be looking for specific cracks that are not linear and straight. They'll kind of be moving in some odd directions. Whoever's helping you find a house out here, they'll be able to help you further on that. But you just want to have someone take a look underneath to make sure that the foundation's solid, that the piers look good, and all that good stuff. Number 2, electrical hazards. So a lot of Rocklin, older part of Rocklin, East Rocklin, has Zinsco panels. So electrical panels in the 60s and mostly 70s. They were putting electrical panels in called Zinsco panels, and they're just older. So you got a lot of older electrical panels, and there were some fire issues. But you know how it is. Some people can paint this huge picture of how terrible it is. Our first house had a Zinsco panel; it was completely fine. All the electrical was fine. But some people may scare you into saying if you have a Zinsco panel, you must replace it. And I don't know that that's the right thing to do in every occasion, but it is something to be mindful of if you're buying a little bit older home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 3 safety concern would be rodent and insect infestation.
Remember that time we had a little mouse in between our walls?
Oh my gosh.
And one house we lived in Rocklin,
By the
it was right behind a field.
By the train.
The field. It was in
Oh, ew.
yeah.
Yes.
So we lived right behind a field.
This is okay. So this is part of, I'm just adding on to the cons. This is great. Are you writing this down? Because this is great. This is great. Cons of living in Rocklin. Okay. Because of the pro of all the green belts. That's amazing because you have beautiful views. You have nature and wildlife just in your backyard.
Turkeys.
But that means it's in your backyard.
Wolves.
So I've come across rodents in my backyard. I've come across snakes. And there was this one thing that freaked me out. And I ran inside. I'm like, babe, there's a snake with legs on it. And it's in the backyard. And he looks at me like, a lizard? I go, no, I know what a lizard is. I grew up with lizards. I chased lizards. I caught lizards. This is not a lizard. It's a snake with legs. Apparently, they're called 5-line skinks. And they look like snakes. Like they're soft and shiny and smooth like snakes, but they have legs.
And they're friendly.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you can actually grab a lizard, turn it on its back, and rub its belly, and it will fall asleep. Try it. True story.
I'm not trying.
All right. So rodents and insect infestation. So
Yeah.
what we're talking about here is termites for the most part.
And
So when you have wood that is exposed to the elements, it gets wet. You will have what's called dry rot or soft wood, and the wood will get infected. And when you have termites, it messes with the structural integrity of the house. So that's pretty much anywhere that uses wood across the United States. But it is something in the older houses, if not treated or sealed, could be an issue. Number 4, mold and mildew. You want to talk about that?
It's gross.
Yeah, it's gross. Mold and mildew, we say mold/mildew because you never want to say mold, because whenever you say mold, automatically when I said that, you probably thought black mold, right?
Yeah.
So we call it mildew. It's a dark substance that would appear to look like mold. But there's like 60,000 different types of mold, right? And there are very harmful molds. But when you have an older house that maybe they didn't have exhaust fans and they took a whole bunch of showers and didn't open the window, then you could have some mold growing. So that's something you want to be mindful of when looking at older
beware
houses.
when you walk in the house, if you're smelling musty smells, that's pretty much an indication.
Check your armpits.
Oh, okay. If it's summertime.
But that could be an indication of some mold.
Yeah.
Rounding out the list of safety concerns, number 5.
Asbestos.
Yep. Asbestos is something that pretty much houses pre-1980, 1978, popcorn ceilings, all that good stuff. That is something that a lot of people don't know about, and they go move into a house. They're like, I want to get rid of these popcorn ceilings. And then they just start taking that off. And when they do that, the particles get released in the air and you can get really, really, really sick. So be mindful of the age of your house. If it's pre-1980, that's definitely something you might want to have a company come out and assess. Good one.
Assess.
Great one.
Yes.
All right. We're moving on. We're not going through the whole guide. We're going to breeze through this again. We could talk about this in more detail with you, but we just want to add some value here. I'm going to breeze through these, what we would consider the 5 best neighborhoods in Rocklin by price ranges, right? So we broke it up into entry level, mid-level, high-end level, or like what we call like luxury and acreage, I would say. So
tell us about entry level, Bob.
Entry level, average range, $400,000 to $600,000 right now at the time of this video. I'm just going to name off the areas. I'm not going to go into huge detail. If you have any questions about specific areas, just send me a direct message or an email, and I'd be happy to talk more about with you, or text. So entry range, Grove to Pacific, a racetrack. That's considered older part of Rocklin. That's in East Rocklin. Sunset Creek side, Woodside, which actually runs along Pacific. So you have 80 on one side, and you have the train tracks on the other. Antelope Creek, and then Stanford Ranch south of Sunset Boulevard. So those houses are going to be built in 70s, 80s, things like that. Then we go to mid-level, average range of about 525,000 to 850,000. You have Mission Hills, Rock Creek, which is in East Rocklin, which is, or West Rocklin. Sorry, West Rocklin. Yeah, 95765. That's where we live, in Rock Creek. West Stanford Ranch, which there's several different phases of it, but those houses are going to be built in the 90s. Rock Creek are going to be built in the early 2000s. Then you have Crestley Springs and Azalea, which is more on the Lone Tree Blue Oaks area, which is very nice, built in about 2005, 2010. And then you have the estates at Stanford Ranch, a nice community, early 2000s, well-kept houses, really big lots, really, really solid houses. Then we go to the luxury and acreage. We have about 850 to anywhere upwards of 2 million. Whitney Ranch is going to be a master plan community of about 3,000 houses, and they have all different types of builders. So you're going to have JMC, you're going to have the New Home Company, you're going to have KB Homes, like every new home company you could think of is there, have a piece of the pie. But Whitney Ranch has about an $84 HOA. They do have Melrose, but they also have a clubhouse, which has a pool and an event center and spa and stuff like that, which is really cool. Low HOA to be able to have access to that clubhouse. So Whitney Ranch is like probably 85% built out. So it's almost done. They're going to be putting in more infrastructure. Then we have Sunset Heights, Clover Valley Woods, which is, if you want acreage in Rocklin, this is going to be, there's a lot of custom homes with acreage. Areas. Really nice, nice area, small, not tons of houses. Sierra View Estate, Secret Ravine, which is up, you're going to have some really nice views of the Sierras. It's kind of up at the top of Sierra College. Super nice area. Houses built in the early to mid 2000s. Some of them have huge lots as well. Then you have Whitney Oaks. So Whitney Oaks is a golf course community, many gated homes, some gated, some not, but you're going to have tons of custom homes there, and those are going to be in the higher end, over $1 million for the most part. So that's kind of a brief overview. If you want anything in more detail, feel free to reach out to me.
That was a good job.
Bam. I just felt like I talked for an hour. I think we're running short on time here, right? So let's round it out with, we're not going to cover the top 5 new home communities today. If you want that, you can get the guide, but we have the communities, the price ranges, the bedrooms, the bathroom, what's available right now. We even have tours available for you guys. So we've done all that. Also, if you know of anyone that's moving to the area, we have access to the Rocklin Relocation Rebate Program, which could give them an extra $2,000 towards their home purchase when buying a new home or resale home and relocating. So feel free to share this with anyone that's interested in moving to the area, or if you are yourself, reach out to us. We can talk more about that. Boom. All right. We're not going to cover why Rocklin, California is a great place to move, and the neighborhoods that might not be the right fit for you that you may want to avoid. Who knows? You can get that in the guide. And then let's go. We're not going to talk about schools because all Rocklin schools are great. That's in the guide for you. Yep. But let's finish off with moving to Rocklin, California, how to get the best deal. Like a couple pro tips. We're going to give you some pro tips right now if you're thinking about moving to Rocklin, California, on how to get the best deal on a house right now in this market.
All right. So number one is put your loan through full underwriting. Basically, that means it's putting everything in, getting it fully underwritten. They're looking at every single piece of documentation. Usually this isn't, most people choose to do this not until they're in contract, but this would be done before. So the address would be left to be determined. And that way you can present your offer and say you are fully underwritten. So there's no, at that point, if you're fully underwritten, there's no part in the process where you're like, oh, wait, we forgot this documentation and now you don't qualify. Like you actually put everything on the table. So it's really creates a strong offer.
It does create strong offer. And when she's talking about documentation, when you pre-qualify with a lender, they're going to ask, oh, can I get your last 2 years W-2s and your most 2 months bank statements, things like that. So you're just going to turn all that in up front, and they're going to underwrite it, and they're going to give you that approval on the spot. Do that. That will help you compete at a better level. Number 2, search for brand new homes that are offering rebates for closing costs. We were able to recently get a client, I think $30,000 reduction or no, 10% off the actual list price of a new home, and $30,000 in closing costs. So there is an opportunity in new homes right now where you can get a lower interest rate, you can get rebates, you can get incentives, especially if it's move-in ready. Like if the home is like standing room only, I call it, like if or standing inventory. If the home is move-in ready, they want to sell it. They want to get it off the books. So that's a great thing. Now, I will say, here's another pro tip. If you are thinking about buying a new home, don't do it on your own. The new home community, the person representing or the salesperson inside is really representing the builder, not you. So they're not going to want to save you money and get you the discounts and the incentives, and they're not really working on your behalf. So it doesn't cost you anything. You could take someone with you, like Vanessa or I would be happy to help negotiate and save you more money. Take someone with you for sure. So number three.
Number three would be to search for homes that have been on the market longer than the average days on market. So when you're looking at homes, usually there's an average day on market. So that's how long it takes for that particular house or houses like it to sell. And if you're looking at houses, let's say the average days on market are 60 or something like that, and this particular house has been on the market for 90 or 120 or whatever it may be, it's over that 60-day average. Mm-hmm. That's one that they may now be willing to strike a deal, right?
Right. And so if you know the average days on market, or your realtor knows the average days on market, when it's starting to get close to that, you can then say, oh, they might be thinking about a reduction, and you might be able to come in and not compete with if it's overpriced, you might not have to compete with other buyers, come in and offer a lower price and be able to secure that house. Also, people don't realize this, but negotiating is a huge thing when you have a team that's working for you. Negotiating, you will negotiate at the beginning of the process, but then you'll also negotiate throughout the process when you do inspections and the appraisal and all that. You'll come back and look at all that, and then there's another time to negotiate where you can get more money towards your purchase, either money off the sale or more money to fix things, which is pretty cool. All right. Lastly, here's how to get the best deal. Number 4, take the time to understand the real estate market you're in. Understand the supply and demand. There are some areas, like in Rocklin right now, we have a month or less of inventory, meaning if we never list any other houses, we will run out of houses. We will have no more for sale. And overall right now, we're just a lower inventory in the greater Sacramento area, especially under 600,000. But do some research. Make sure that you're talking to the professionals in the area that can help you understand the difference of supply and demand. Because if you have no homes available, then you're going to have a lot of buyers competing for the same house, right? So it's going to drive the prices up.
I think what's important about understanding whether you're in a seller's market or a buyer's market really helps you understand what kind of offer you're going to create, so to give you the best advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. All right, so we are closing up shop, but before we do that, we want to talk about something that we put together. We have some other things in the guide that you can download when you see, but we kind of said, okay, if we were buying a house, if we were going to another state or something to buy a house, what would be some of the things that would be beneficial for us? Well, the first thing was the guide. And then we started thinking, well, what else can we offer these people that we already offer, the people that we work with, people like you that may know us, that we've worked with before, past clients, things like that. So we call it becoming a priority buyer. So what you can do is you can send this guide to someone. They could book a 15-minute discovery call with us to talk about their goals. But basically, the priority buyer is really simple. You can take advantage of Rocklin's relocation rebate, potentially get $2,000 towards your purchase. We offer city tours to people that are out of the area or that are looking for certain areas, that want to understand the schools and the subdivisions and what all the city has to offer. We have exclusive listing alerts where you can get up-to-date alerts on when houses come on the market that are fitting your price range or what you're looking for. We also have virtual tours that our team's able to do. It's one of the benefits of having a team. We can actually do virtual tours and send them directly to you on any house. And then we also have a secret inventory. Secret inventory is basically, we have a list of people that are...
It's a secret.
Oh, yeah. We have houses available, off-market opportunities that you might not know about. Yeah. And so you may be able to buy a house without competing with anyone else. You're welcome. And lastly, you can get pre-approved with our preferred lender, which will help you know exactly how much you can qualify for. Because let's face it, when you're looking at a house, the most important things are how much is my monthly payment going to be each month, like when it's all said and done, and how much money do I need to bring to the closing table, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what people want to know.
It's
So
true.
all these things, we're here to help. So feel free to share this with anyone that would like to, or if you have any questions, send me a DM, email, text, call, right?
MySpace.
Who remembers MySpace? Like,
I can't.
give this video a thumbs up if you know what MySpace is. I'm curious. Like, I want to take a poll. Like, have you used MySpace? Yes, no. Like, how many people do we know that use MySpace?
Yeah. How about anybody that did their own code on MySpace?
I never did that.
I did.
Never had that kind of skill. Well, hey,
Glitter.
the glitter.
Making the glitter ring.
Hey guys, well, Brandon and Vanessa Leon, we are here to help you in the greater Sacramento area with your real estate needs when it comes to buying or selling. Don't forget to like
And subscribe.
And
hit the bell.
Oh,
to be notified.
Notifications
Ding.
bell. There you go.
Ding.
Hey, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you guys checking out this video, and we will see you next week, Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah. Bye.